The Kolbrin Bible, Book of Morals and Precepts, Chapter 3, The Nature of Man's Soul. The one God is above all in greatness, but under him above all else on earth is the soul of man. It is not isolated from the Godhead above, nor from the mortal below, for it is that which spans the gulf between. It is the link between God and man, between immortal and mortal. Nothing exists which is or can be isolated from all else. There is a connection between earth and the region of glory, a link between dust and star. From the highest God down to the mote runs an unbroken and unbreakable chain. Man is apart from all other creatures in that he has foreknowledge of death and decay. If man be immortal, then it is the burden of his immortality. But if he passes to nothingness, he is cursed above the unknowing beasts, which know not the dread of approaching doom. Has man been placed above the beasts, to be confronted with his own nothingness? Is his superiority naught but the father of terrors? Such cannot be, for the direction of life is ever towards betterment, and it cannot be cast back upon itself. The ass knows not the value of food, though its belly be full. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow are to it alike. The lion knows nothing of the putrefaction which one day will be its lot, nor does the ox live in the knowledge of the slaughterhouse. The power of thought is not given to the flesh, nor can bones reason. Something unseen animates the inert clay of your being. Something intangible is added to the earthly material of your body. Think not primarily of your material self, nor say, "My heart is supreme." For within your body resides the soul, which activates the thinking heart, and it is not the resident of the dwelling of greater importance than the materials of its construction. Gaze upon a corpse. See, it is empty of life. Something that was in, no longer there. The soul is missing. Your soul is the Lord of your body. Suffer not the subject to rebel, nor to assert its sway, for its domination cannot be beneficial. Let the soul not only vitalize, but rule and direct the flesh, that wildness and excesses may be held in leash. The soul delights in sweet smells and knows the perfumes of earth by the performance of the nose. It rejoices in the delicacies of the table and tastes them only through the workings of the mouth. Food feeds the flesh, but the flesh finds no pleasure in eating, for it is the soul which experiences the enjoyment of food. The eyes are the sentinels, which keep watch for you, the lights that go before your path as braziers before a caravan. Yet they see not of themselves, for they are but the instruments of sight, without a consciousness of their own. It is the soul within which interprets their messages. Man alone of all creatures is capable of blushing, for he alone of all things living has a soul which can experience a sense of shame. That man has a soul is beyond all doubt. It is the most obvious of all truths. Seek not to delve unduly into its secrets, but to harmonize it with your body. Commune with it, and awaken its potentialities. Intellect, reason, willpower, and comprehension. These are not the soul. They are the manifestations of its existence, its attributes and activity, but they are not the soul itself. Stimulate the soul by contact with that to which it responds. Know it through its manifestations and understand it through its faculties. It remains immortal and indestructible throughout all ages. Its splendor is displayed in noble deeds, and its glory in works of art and craftsmanship. It will survive your bodily disintegration. It was not created by the quickening of the flesh, nor conceived within the womb. Its seed existed before the body and preceded the thinking heart. The great God sows soul seeds into earthly flesh, as man sows barley seeds in the fields of black soil. The soul is yours to fashion. It can be made radiant by goodness, beautified by virtue, and glorified by love. It can be hideously deformed by vices and passions, and twisted into a form of distorted horror by meanness and hatred. It cannot be valued too greatly, nor can it be handled too carefully, for it is your own true self, the reality which is you. It is as virgin stone for you to cut and shape as you will. But remember, the image carved is not easily altered, and shall one day be displayed to the eyes of eternity in its true likeness, though on earth this is now veiled by the flesh. The desire of the soul cannot be held in restraint. Be it at the rim of the earth, the soul will find it. Or if beyond the stars, it will be reached. The soul is ever questing. As the wilderness wayfarer thirsts after water, so does the soul long for knowledge. The gods of the north and the south provide food for the body of man, but it is the God of all ages who provides sustenance for the soul. As the body has its particular foods which nourish it, so has the soul. As the body is impoverished by lack of proper sustenance, so is the soul. Mortal man may, in the course of time, forget his experiences, but within the soul, they are retained forever. The soul is a hunter, and the quarry is truth. The weapons of the hunt are reason and experience. The years of the wrongdoer and he who walks in wickedness plant more wrinkles and scars on the face of the soul than on the face of the body. The soul is not born, nor does it know itself as a soul. The purpose of its earthly journey is to awaken it to self-awareness and to provide it with the ability to continue existence in the region beyond the west. Therefore, how could it enter upon earthly life with these things? Were they already there? Life and earth would have no purpose. The soul is bodiless within the body, everlasting among things that change and pass away. Man does not perceive his soul because his senses face outward from the soul, towards earthly things, with which it makes contact. So it is that only the most developed of men can close out the material things about them and turn their senses inward and perceive the soul. The soul looks out through the eyes and sees all, which is without, but nothing of this can look in through the eyes and see the soul, even though the soul's feeling may be reflected there. An eye without a soul behind it sees nothing. The earthly and wayward seek only after outward pleasures and the satisfaction of the body. They fall into the snare of disbelief in the soul, and the law decrees that disbelief shall be easy. Wise men, knowing the nature of immortal things, seek not for anything stable here among unstable things. That by which we know the texture of things, by which we taste, smell, hear, by which we experience the tenderness and suffering of love and perceive the beauty of nature, by which we value the glory of self-sacrifice, by that we are also assured of something immortal within us. For when a man comes to the realization that it is by the soul within him that he knows and experiences all things about him, he has taken the first great step towards conscious immortality. When the body and soul are torn apart, what remains? No man lives by the air he breathes in and the air he breathes out. It is something more, the soul, that gives life. As the one fire entering the earth in oneness becomes different here and everywhere, according to the nature of that which it consumes, so the one soul, vitalizing the souls of men, becomes different according to the nature of its covering. As the one air passes through the pipes and becomes different according to the nature of the pipes, so the one essence in the souls of men becomes different according to the manner of its use. The one water is in all things, yet in all things it is different. So it is with the great soul and the souls of men. The wise man who is conscious of his soul within him will commune with it and never neglect its needs. For if a man cannot awaken his soul before his body falls asunder, he will not awaken it thereafter, and it will return to the waters of the great soul sea. The purpose of earth and earthly life is awakening of the souls of men. Earthly conditions can serve no other end. Rejoice in the sure knowledge of your soul's indestructibility, but let your joy be leavened by remembrance of your responsibility for its condition. Naked does man come from his mother's womb, and naked does he return to the womb of the earth. He brings no possessions with him to earth, and no more can be taken out. Yet he leaves not altogether as he entered, for though his riches and estate, his titles, even his clothes are left behind, if he has lived wisely, he goes out richer in soul, wisdom, and arrayed in soul beauty. Man arrives at the great portal, arrayed in glory or clothed in horror. In the newborn childling is the soft seed of the slumbering soul. This will be developed, molded, and fashioned throughout the period of its earthly existence. It will be shaped by man himself to his own inner likeness. Then, when stripped of its outward bodily covering, man will stand revealed to himself and be faced with splendor or horror. In the likeness to which the soul is fashioned in the body, so shall it come forth in the spirit on its appointed day. Thus it is written in the secret books of wisdom, which are revealed to the few. The body is a womb, life the days of conception, and death the birth of the soul. Is it not written that some shall bring forth monsters and fearful things, and some shall bear gods? These things are not beyond understanding. Pontus taught the people that every man is his own mother, and they fed him to the crocodiles. Children cannot be told even half the truth, but must be led by childish tales towards understanding.